Hey folks, so I just taught Red Dust Rebellion, and maybe you're interested in playing it. You should follow that instinct. But also know that this game is not easy, and learning its mechanics doesn't immediately set you up with a good strategy. So with that in mind, here are my top 5 tips for playing your first couple games of Red Dust Rebellion. The event deck is super important in this game for a number of reasons. First off, the events themselves can have enormous effects, but more important is how it determines eligibility. If a card comes up and you're second eligible, if the first eligible player takes an up, it might be better to pass if you know that you'll be first eligible on the next round. This is especially true if the event on the next card is something you really want to take or stop from happening. This is a long game, and passing does give a small benefit, so you don't usually need to rush to get things done. That being said, limited ops aren't bad, especially if you're the church player, but this game is all about picking your battles. Speaking of. So the rest of these tips are going to be faction specific, and this one is for the Marsgov player. You simply don't have the cubes to spread out over the entire map. So you'll want to pick a few key locations, especially labyrinths, and try to hold on tight. Increasing support is a slow process, so when you get a location to active, you want to defend it and build it up. Bring in new population and then fortify to prevent damage. When you feel like you've entrenched well enough, then move on to the next target. If you move too fast, you'll likely just be setting yourself up for a big fall. For the Red Dust movement, more important than getting boots on the ground is to build up opposition. This helps you in just about every aspect of the game, from recruiting forces to gaining resources. Spreading your forces thin is okay as long as they're hidden, because rooting out individual rebels is rarely going to be cost effective. Then taking campaign actions will build opposition, damage enemy locations, lower profits, and can even get you campaign cards, whose effects can be absolutely debilitating for the enemy. And if you've got enough opposition spread out around the board, when you go to recruit new rebels, they'll also be spread out and hard to squash, making your attacks that much harder to predict. While the main antagonists of this game are Marsgov and the Red Dust movements, as the church player, you can't just sit on the sidelines. It's tempting to just build up bases on the outskirts and stay away from the action, and sometimes that is useful for you. But if the Red Dust gets wiped out, they'll be coming for you next. You need to find hit-and-run opportunities to strike the coin factions when they're weak. You can move surprisingly fast once you're set up, so look for chances to take out or convert enemy bases. Also, your ability to do more with limited operations makes you extremely versatile, so spending asset cards to improve eligibility should be used sparingly. The corporations have a lot of resources to bring to bear, in the sense that you don't need to pay for your actions, but that doesn't mean you should spend all your time fighting. While it's true that you do often need to support Marsgov, you should only do so enough to keep the Coin Alliance just barely on top. If you attack the rebellions too effectively, Marsgov will probably be able to capitalize on that more effectively than you. Your special activities are especially useful for keeping the powers balanced because they push locations away from support and opposition, and they can benefit or punish both Marsgov and the rebel factions. I also like to spread individual security around so that if Marsgov happens to pick a fight there, you might just profit off of it. Keep all that up and you might just be able to ride this war profiteering wave to victory. So those are my top 5 beginner strategy tips for Red Dust Rebellion. But this is a huge game, and I'm sure there's lots more strategy advice to give. So if you think you've got a good tip, leave it in the comments below. Also, if you liked this video, YouTube has these top secret buttons that let you show your appreciation and follow the channel to see more videos like it. I don't know where they are, but if you see them, please give them a click. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.